So we want to run the JDM Hart wheels, 14-inch Hart wheels, but they're on the wrong size tire. However, I have a brand new set of the right size tire on these orange wheels. So these tires on these wheels, good to go. I got a wide body.
And my grandparents used to all it, and then you could just put that in the truck or something. There she is.
Two-wheel drive, 4-speed, 4-corner torsion bar truck. This was a gift from my friends over in Japan. There was a little bit of a mix-up with another vehicle I ordered, and they gave this to me as a I'm sorry gift. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this one into my work truck for this year. Very clean example for a 1988. Obviously it needs washed and whatnot. I've had this now for a couple of months and I've been tinkering with it. 12,000 original miles on a 1988. First things first, I want to lower the truck. This being a torsion bar truck, it's basically a rod. One end of the rod is fixed, the other end isn't, and as your suspension moves, it twists that rod, and that is acting as your spring. Lowering a torsion bar vehicle is super simple. You could raise it doing the same thing. You simply slide the knuckle off the torsion bar, clock it by one tooth on the torsion bar, reinstall it either direction, and that is going to move your arm up or down in the fender well, lowering or lifting your suspension. The front we moved at one key. It ended up lowering the front about 3 inches. The rear is at stock ride height, so let's go ahead and lower the rear one key. That'll give us a 3-inch drop front and rear, setting us pretty much on our bump stop. You can obviously go much lower by modifying the bump stop, smaller wheels. You can put this thing completely flat down on the ground. We're not trying to do that. We want everything on here to be reversible because I am going to resell this truck at a later date. Can't keep them all. This will just be a work truck for a year, and then I will flip it. With the suspension lowered, it's time to upgrade our wheel studs. The factory ones just are not long enough to fit through an aftermarket wheel. They are meant for steel wheels, and they are a little on the small and weaker side. So I went ahead and found these ATV studs that were the proper length and the proper size. I just had to drill open the original stud mounting holes by about 0.5 millimeter. And then just went ahead and air hammered the studs in. You can use a press, you can use a regular hammer and a punch, however you want to do it, but I find my air hammer to be about as quick as humanly possible at pressing in new studs. While I had everything apart, I did a brake inspection, and with a 12,000 mile vehicle, you could assume everything was in brand new condition. So a little bit of paint on the drums and whatnot brought it up to make it look nice and fresh, and then we fitted our new wheels and tires, and we're going to set this thing on the ground, and it sits pretty much perfect. I actually had to put her on ramps this time. With our suspension sorted and the SLAMBAR now slammed, we're getting on to the exhaust. Forgive me if I butcher the company. I think it's 1320 Performance makes this blast pipe setup. Pretty reasonable deal. And then the rest of this stuff I have pieced together. I don't think I can film this one too well because it's up under the truck. So I'm just gonna go ahead and chop these pipes up, weld them together, throw a little bit of header paint on them, and here's what we come up with. That's our entire exhaust system right there. Pop the V-band clamp off here and whatever mount we make for the tips, which are heavy as hell. And job done. With the exhaust done, it's time to start on cosmetics. I pulled the roll pan off and tried to paint it. I don't know if I just didn't clean it well enough. It's covered in rain right now, but it had some reactions. The paint I used takes about 7 days to cure. This is like day 2 or 3, so I'm gonna let that sit for about another week, sand out the imperfections, the orange peel, and shoot it again. But I ended up painting the battery box too, and that turned out absolutely gorgeous, and it looks really nice up under there. A lot cleaner than our exposed battery. I did do a flame broiled tip on this. I put about 100 miles on it since I did the exhaust. It is coloring really fast and it's gonna be impossible to keep it chrome. So I went ahead and just flamed the tips and then let that yellow just walk its way down the pipe, and it still looks good. It's not chrome like our wheels were, but it still looks good. Humidity is kicking today. Now, being an 88 SLAMBAR, parts just don't exist. Luckily enough, all these K trucks are pretty close to the same dimensions and same size. So, from Malaysia, about $1,000 sitting right here. We have a rear wing, which we're gonna get mounted right now, a front lip, where we just have to, our bumper is pretty much straight across. This has a little bit of curve in it, so we'll just have to flex the plastic a little bit to match the curve on the front, but the dimensions are perfect. And we have a roof wing here. Now the roof wing is the only one I foresee doing fiberglass work on, right in the little cracks right there. This wing is about 1/2 inch too narrow for the sandbar, so I will have to come in here and body work this so I can get it to sit. Maybe it'll sit. But I'll have to come in here and body work those notches out on both sides to let it drop all the way down on. But it will work. Now all these parts, if you're curious, are off a Honda Acti, I believe. Forgive me, it's been a crazy week. I've got a Honda Acti van on its way from the port right now too. Keep buying these things, but once the roof wing is sunk down on there, you'll get the idea, the look. So we got a roof ring, rear wing, front lip, and then a little rubber guard that goes under that. That's going to bring us down further because we are as low as I possibly can go without modifying the bump stops and whatnot. So we need to create the illusion of more low with that front lip, and the blacked out wing, and lip are going to really tie all this together. We're also going to black out the front bumper. It was originally black, but it has faded to gray over time. So we need to black out the front bumper, around the headlights, the mirrors, all the plastic that has grayed over the ages. For right now, let's get this rear wing mocked up, and then you'll see me assemble this thing after paint. It's the only thing you guys aren't seeing is the paint work and the little bit of body work I have to do to the top of that guy. In this clip, you are seeing me use the tape method. You lay a piece of tape across the part you want to match the drill holes with. You mark it out everywhere you want the drill holes to be, and then you drill the holes through the tape and through the part. You then take the tape off, put it onto the deck lid, in our case, the rear tailgate, and that transfers the holes perfectly into the deck lid so everything lines up. Then I'm going to come back in with a little bit of RTV just to seal around these riv nuts, throw some riv nuts in the holes we just drilled, and that will give us a perfect mounting surface for our wing. After paint and final assembly, we will be putting 3M double-sided tape under the wing as well, just to help it stick down. Not that it's really needed, it's probably a vibration and noise canceling more than anything. Too far. Alright, let's get this one off. I already had it off the other day to check numbers on it. Ooh, it's gonna be tight though. Unforeseen issue. Leaning over the wing adds 4 inches of in the friggin' way. Oil filter persuaders. Alright. If the internet is correct, I'm not giving you guys a part number till I know for sure. I don't want to give you the wrong part number. Alright. Let's see here. Gasket to gasket. Gasket to gasket. We are exact. Now, as long as that screws on, our part number will be 85358. CarQuest, this is the premium filter, but the part number is 85358. These filters can be found on any Advanced Auto Parts shelf for $9.99. Don't get duped into importing one of those for 50 bucks. People do it all the time. There's always a cross-reference. Don't drop it. Hands slippery. Alright, yes sir. That is the one. So, on your old model SLAMBAR with the 500 and whatever cc engine, CarQuest 85358. And then I'm just using, because they had a sale going on right now, I was like, I got the filter for free when I bought the oil for 30 bucks. I mean, you couldn't beat it. $30 oil change right now. I'm using the Fram Full Synthetic Advanced. I don't know what the hell's so advanced about it. It lubricates 530. I think it's about 3 quarts.
Phone now because there's a lot of people here. I don't get stuff. Yeah. Okay, bye.
Is today a typical don't know what I'll have So I guess it's a sad puny cheeseburger kind of day? Or is it I am a champion who eats a quarter pound of tender juicy steak and melty cheese kind of day? Today is Arby's cheesesteak day. Arby's is picking for you. Arby's, we have the meat.
And participating Arby's for a limited time.
Of course I forget to hit record, but went ahead and got the mirror glass back in on the driver's side mirror. I did end up breaking the passenger side mirror when I disassembled it. I knew it was a risk, but I wanted to take it apart and really paint all the details. I didn't want to half-ass it, so we are missing mirror glass over here, but that's not a big deal. I'm going to go out tomorrow and drop off the pieces to a mirror shop, a glass shop, have them cut me a new piece. No big deal. Boy, does that mirror become a problem, a month-long problem. But now we're going to go ahead and slap some graphics on the side of it that I had. These turned out really, really good. I've only got the one set. I would love to have a set for multiple vehicles, but I've only got the one set here. But they turned out really great. After putting the graphics on, I'm just going to continue on with a red theme. I went ahead and found myself some clear to red window tint. It is completely transparent, but turns red depending on how you're looking at it. I wasn't a huge fan with it. I end up changing it at the end of the video, but it lays down really good, and it looked really good for about a month until I decided to change it. Moving on to the next big job here. This is the steering arm, pitman arm, not sure what you'd want to call it, the main steering connection on the truck. The main bushing on that is completely shot. So I went ahead and dug that bushing out, found myself a washer that fits over the inner sleeve and tightly around the outside of the bushing, and used some E6000 there just to secure it. Looking at the top of the screen, you could see the center bushing sleeve floating in the middle there, and the washer is on the underside of that, keeping our two-part epoxy from dripping out once we pour it in. So we pour that in, let it sit for the appropriate 7 days, and we have a brand new bushing for about $30, way stronger than original. Oh, this guy is Tommy the Terrible. He showed up creeping around the garage. You gotta be careful about Tommy. He will steal your girl. Not today, Tommy. So went ahead and put him back into a bush. Alright, I got the truck pretty much ready for the car show I'm trying to get to, other than washing it. Big problem. Back here, the engine cover. These things never come with the bolts installed. It's literally almost never. So it tucks up and under the front. Oh, I'm trying to do this one-handed, don't work. Tucks up and under in the front, and then there's two bolts that go in the back. They don't leave the bolts in, nobody does, because it makes it too hard to access if something happens on the road. So what I want to do, let me make sure these are the right size. I found a couple of bolts in my hardware drawer here. All right, that one's right. And yes, that's right. Okay. So I got a pair of matching bolts here. Every time I rebuild motorcycles, I literally buy bags of bolts from the scrappers when they break them down and part them out. Keep the bolts, I use them every day. But these are most likely front rotor bolts off of something Japanese. But I got a matching set of those. So we're going to hawk the head off of these. I got a couple of stainless steel wing nuts here. Hawk the head off of these, weld them to the stainless steel wing nut, not that it matters that it's stainless steel, and that way I'll be able to tighten and untighten by hand, and I won't ever need a tool to take that cover off if something happens on the road. Now that we've got those done, go ahead and install our bed cover. Yes, I am aware this is a production thing. You can go out and get male ends on wing nuts. No, I did not have access to that locally, nor did I have time to order said wing nuts. Screws in. So I just went ahead and made my own. And there you go. Job done. It'll hold in just fine. Now for the extra secret surprise that's going in the bed of this thing. Hopefully I ordered the right mounts and I can get this installed before I leave tomorrow. I found this guy on Facebook Marketplace about 8 months ago. It is getting ready for a restoration. There will be a full video on it, but I do want to take it with me to the car show even though it is not operational. Not Japanese, but this is a Honda of... it's either China or Taiwan. So it is Honda, but it's Honda China or Honda Taiwan. Electric bicycle. Actually a 2-seater, 1-seat, pedals, floorboard, battery pack. This is your second seat, your floorboard for the secondary person. Awesome cargo box. Badass little thing. Just cool as hell. I don't know how it got here. I know you can order them in crates, but you have to buy like 100 of them to get them here, and I've never seen them. All right. That's centered. That's centered. Now this bike does have a stand that you can put up in the rear. So that should help us. Okay, that looks friggin' killer. I am so upset I don't have that roof wing on for the show, but that's okay. You guys will see that here once we get back from the show. Obviously the bungee cords are not the final straps. It's all I have right now. I'm gonna run out of the store, get some good straps to hold this thing, and then we're gonna go to the car wash. And after that, we should be at Superfly, one of the baddest car shows around. So that bike just ties us together. That's the look. That's friggin' killer. I love it. Awesome little intermission there to go to the car show. Everybody loved it. The truck was a big hit, so was the bicycle. Ended up spending the weekend in the city. got back, did the fiberglass work on the wing, molded it to the roof, and then started sanding everything. After sanding, went ahead and put it into paint, and then after paint, we used Sikaflex. This is the stuff that sticks stuff to other stuff. It is not cheap, and for good reason. If you want to glue two things together and never want them to come apart, Sikaflex 252. Quick 360 of the truck currently, and that wing really ties everything together. Now, after waiting for 2 weeks and spending $50 on brand new mirror glass to be cut, I broke that one too. So I decided to go ahead and make my own mirror this time out of a little bit more flexible material. It's not glass, it is a plastic, but it is a really strong industrial plastic. So I cut my own mirror, threw on some little some heart accent mirrors there that I had laying around, and it just brought the whole look together with the heart wheels. And when I go ahead and redo this tint at a later date, we are going to tint those little hearts too, and they turn out pretty damn cool. As with all the Japanese imports, their radios do not work in the United States. Their radio stations are different than the radio stations we have here. So you always have to replace the radios. With this one, I don't know where the speakers are even in this thing. I thought they were in the doors. I was mistaken. Where the hell would the speakers even be? I do not know. It might only have like 1 or 2 speakers hidden behind the dash or something. I'll have to look. For $32 on a clearance rack, it came with 2 speakers and the radio. So we're going to at least install the radio in here, and I can use those speakers for another project I have that is going to need them and does have door speakers. So let's get this radio out and get that one in. This style radio, so this bezel should come off, and the knobs are usually the only thing that hold it on. Yeah. Am I right with the 12 assessment? Maybe? Yes. So we're going to loosen that up. Yeah, it'll come off on its own. And we're going to take something like a trim removal tool or this plastic scraper and get in there. Yep, pop it right off. That, oops, where'd that washer go? Oh boy, right there. That will allow us to access the screws on each side. We'll remove this radio, get back there, wire in our new radio. Then I've got to go find a single, looks like a 5.5 by a 3.5. I have to go find a 5.5 by a 3.5 that can handle 200 watts. Because we only got one speaker in here. And it actually sounds really good.
When Jameis Winston was in there at quarterback, and then he had the concussion.
Got some good sound to it. It's nice and loud, so we just got to get a quality speaker. But let's get this finished installed. Quick trip to the store, and I came up with some Sony XS R46s. These are 4" by 6", and they run a peak power of 420 watts per pair, making that 210 peak per speaker, which is 10 more than we technically need for our one speaker install. So we'll use one of these, have one for backup in case we ever blow it, and it should fit pretty close to our stock one here. This should be pretty much perfect. All right, let's get this swapped in. I feel like I'm just about done, but the biggest complaint I have is the window tint. It is much clearer than I wanted it to be when I ordered it. I really wanted a nice red. It transitions, but it's faint. I don't mind it on the driver and passenger door. I think I can live with that. But even across the top of the windshield here, it's invisible until you catch it absolutely perfectly in the light. And that's not what I was going for. Again, not bad driver passenger, but I'm going to redo this rear window and the strip across the windshield here. Yeah, I can't even get it to activate in this light right now. Trying to find a heavily red dominant chameleon is not easy. I did find a heavily yellow dominant chameleon that flips to red, so it goes from chrome to pinks to reds, what have you, but this is more along the lines of what I wanted. So let's go ahead and just we're gonna put this on the back glass, and I'm gonna make a strip for the front. I'm not gonna make you guys watch that. Damn, that's gonna be a lot more pink than red. That's like a yellow to pinky purple flip. Not at all what I was going for either, but it's at least a lot brighter. So we'll throw it on, see what's what. Oddly enough, it's green and blue on the inside, reflecting pink on the lights. Yellow. There's reds in there. It's a lot more pink than it is red. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Let's do the back and we'll see what we got. Doing the front window banner and the rear window actually made the red on the driver and passenger window pop more, so I'm very happy with that. As you walk around, you'll see a transition to reds, yellows. The back glass, it goes full rainbow. You get yellows, blues, and it'll transition into greens, aquas. The green is super cool. Depending on how the light hits it, it's a full-on mirror, but you can see straight through it. And we'll continue around. Then we'll transition to a red-pink, clear. Then you'll see the side windows starting to turn to red again. You get reds and yellows. And the banner on the front will do the same. She'll start clear, go to a blue. The reds on the sides will turn yellow on the side now, blue on the front. And now you can see the pink hues through the back. I'm actually really happy with that tint. Kind of a happy accident situation, but it looks awesome. I couldn't be happier with the SLAMBAR. I am a hot, sweaty mess today, but that's where we're gonna end that one, guys. She turned out really cool. The wings, the upgrades, everything. I got a couple little things to nitpick, but I'll fix it up and make it absolutely perfect over this summer, and she'll go to a new owner next year, but I'm gonna have fun with it. So thanks for following along, thanks for checking out the SLAMBAR build there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. We got a fleet of vehicles here I've got to get going on, so job done. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, have a good one.